You know, I've been really into anime and manga since about 2005. I've gone through thousands of titles by now, and over the years, I've seen a lot. I've seen the killer hiding from the heroes inside a headless horse. I've seen a guy drill a hole in his own skull so he could learn to see the strange and invisible things. I've seen a boy go through a massive existential and teenage crisis, imagining himself as a cartoonish little bird. I've seen people design robots for war that looks like giant Japanese schoolgirls, while their pilots suffered from intense PTSD, drank themselves to death, played Russian roulette, and messed up their mental health so badly that some even started wearing school uniforms themselves. I've seen a genetically modified chicken refuse to be eaten, become a mad scientist, and try to change the world and get revenge on humanity. I've seen a reincarnated master alchemist get into a shootout with traps while handing out in a brothel. I've seen a school turned into a prison for boys, where the girls were their wardens, and one of the guys kept growing bigger during the school festival, until the entire opposite team could sit on his back. And somehow, everyone acted like that was totally normal, while the principal seriously debated that butts were better than boobs. And I've seen hundreds of other crazy things. But man, nothing could prepare me for this. And if I had to describe this work in one sentence, imagine JoJo's Bizarre Adventure plus Prison School plus Fate, and with some very close encounters, both on edge and way beyond it. It's a grand tournament featuring the most bizarre and twisted versions of mythical heroes. A saga that constantly balanced on the line between absurdity and epicness. A saga where blood and other fluids flow like rivers. A saga that will make you laugh hysterically. The Rosen Garten Saga. Hello dear viewers, I'm continuing to share stories that deserve your attention. And today's spotlight is on Rosen Garten Saga, brought to us by writer Sakimori Fuji and the artist Tonooka Yousetsu, published by Shogakukan. And what's interesting, both authors are clearly no rookies. They are seasoned professionals working under fake names. Judging by the high-quality art, the artist spent years crafting doujinshi of a certain kind. As for the writer, he masterfully handles pacing, storytelling, timing, and humor. Honestly, if someone told me this belonged to someone like One, I wouldn't even be surprised. But let's go to the plot. Rosen Garten Saga draws heavily from ancient Germanics and Scandinavian myths. Those who read the Song of the Nibelungs as kid will recognize plenty of borrowed twists and bunch of familiar names. The story revolves around a village girl named Lin, who after a series of random events ends up with a magical sword, with the soul of the legendary hero, Siegfried. Siegfried's spirit is cocky, smug, and very perverted. He gives Lin incredible strength, power, and on the top of that, a unique ability. If she stabs someone with this sword, it changes their gender. Armed with this power, Lin decided to turn her life around. She heads to a capital to compete in the famous tournament of Rosengarten, mostly to impress her idol, Queen Brunhilde. Poor Lin has no idea who she'll have to team up with in this tournament, which features mythical heroes from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. And they all absolutely crazy! King Arthur and his knights of the Round Table, their boys band idol group of traps, and their producer, Merlin, he is drawn as letter P, in true doujinshi fashion, like how they depict the producer in Idolmaster doujinshi. Don't ask how I know this, you already know the answer. Beowulf, the guy who fought Grendel naked in the original legend, here he always naked, taking down enemies with his oversized third weapon. Alibaba and his team, they're all about advanced tech. Cell phones, AI, drones, giant mechs, you name it. Oh, and Alibaba is a cool man? One step and boom, he is not so man now. Cunning Attila, leader of the Huns, strikes a deal with the tournament's king by showing him anti-air videos featuring the king's wife, which the king enjoys. I'm losing it, this is too much. Honestly, editing clips of this for YouTube is going to be a minefield. So yeah, characters are constantly fighting, cracking jokes, switching genders, hooking up, and doing all kinds of wild, over-the-top stuff non-stop. That said, the battles and story are geniusly exciting and well-placed. There is Beowulf's unshakable honor and masculinity, Arthur's pure ideals, and Attila's clever scheming. All of it makes you invested in the battles and team dynamics. And in the middle of it all is Lin and her partners, with an intrigue mystery unfolding around her origins. What starts as a running joke about Lin being ugly turns into a plot twist. The characters realize they all see Lin differently, as if no one can see her true face. One of the biggest strengths of this story is the constant contrast between seriousness and complete absurdity, and art plays a key role in this. For example, when Queen Brunhilde steps into the arena, the crowd goes wild. She's stunning, powerful, and commanding, with aristocratic elegance in every move. There is destructive power in every attack she makes. And then the blindfold falls from her eyes. We see her face, exhausted from the brutal hangover. Queen Brunhilde instantly starts cosplaying Jimeno from Chainsaw Man, completely shattering her majestic image for the readers. And it's not the first time this happens, but it's hilarious every single time. Or take this for example. During one battle, a hero entering the fight riding a dragon. Together, they created a truly epic scene of battlefield, with devastating moves and grand display of power. But because of magic, the tournament audience watching on the screen didn't see the massive dragon and its rider. Instead, they saw a dragon's human form, and with mix of shock and disgust, they watched a rider sitting on a lolly. The contrast is absolutely hilarious. What we, the readers, see is an intense battle with beams of energy slicing through mountains like butter. What the audience in the story sees, absolutely not that. And then there is a King Arthur, our beloved trap from Knights of the Round Table. His fight pushes boundaries so much that I'm afraid to even show any pictures from it, because when the tentacles get involved, you start to think that's just a little bit more and the audience may have a sneak peek on his Excalibur. Truly, the Tournament of Rosen Garten is a chaotic spectacle where battles constantly walk the tightrope between being cool and being completely absurd. Is reminiscent of One Punch Man, where the heroes often flip from super serious to hilariously goofy. One moment, the characters are fighting, with all the classic shonen tropes, overcoming impossible odds. The next, they're joking around and hooking up. And then suddenly, one of the characters casually walks into the scene holding the severed head of a princess they were just trying to save. Moments like this makes readers go, wait, what? The creators clearly comes up with situations and then brainstorming the most insane way to resolve them. Oh, and about that moment with the village elder, I'm not saying a single word about it. Nothing. Look me in the eyes. If you read it, I know you lost in this moment. We all lost in that moment. Speaking of timing, the kind of timing that only experienced mangaka can pull off. Here is a perfect example. One of Lin's companions, Prince Dietrich, is a total perverted masochist. After a good solid beating, he starts seeing Lin as his mistress, and he is ready to follow her to the end of the earth. He is even willing to be her horse, literally. So there is this one moment where Lin is roasting Siegfried in his sword form over a campfire, while discussing their next move with her new teammates. After a heartfelt speech, they all decided to head to the Rosengarten tournament together. We then get this epic shot of the whole team standing together. Even Siegfried takes on his ghostly human form for this moment. Everyone is united and inspired by the moment. But wait a second, I thought. Where is our new guy, Dietrich? And just in the next frame, a naked Dietrich pops out the campfire that has been in the background the whole time, shouting, "What about me?" This timing kills, and moments like this happen constantly. But now, let's wrap it up. The manga Rosen Garten Saga has become a real phenomenon for me. You see, when a mangaka sets out to create something shocking or completely absurd, it's usually because they're either new to the game or just mediocre. They're bad at storytelling, their timing is clunky, and their stories are all over the place. Because such mangakas are not accepted to top magazines. And if this is an author of a top magazine level, then he will do something mainstream, which will bring more money and fame. It's the same reason why we don't get super absurd, psychedelic, philosophical pieces in AAA games. Those kind of things are usually left to the indie sector. In the manga industry, it's rare to see real professionals taking something absurd, especially when both the artwork and the direction are at such high level. I can remember only Prison School. That's why it's so exciting to see projects like Rosen Garten. It's like watching an hentai with a budget and production quality of Demon Slayer. Of course, the constant absurdity and below-the-belt jokes could get old after a while, but the manga doesn't release often. Each new chapter comes out once a month, and it's a much anticipated dose of madness that I took forward to every time. Will it ever get an anime adaptation? Well, in our crazy world, where exist interspecies reviewers, Redo of Healer, and Prison School, anything is possible. So we'll see. But if the Rosen Garten Saga ever does get an anime, it's going to blow everyone away. Some people will burst out laughing, while others, well, let's say they will feel it. Either way, there is no going back.